Good afternoon. Now let's get to the video. Connecting your Cisco 500 series IP phone, which is a VoIP phone, to your AllStar node. For the purpose of the photo, that doesn't necessarily give it credit. No, that does the phone there. Is Peter's G7 RPG AllStar node. There are other guys out there that do AllStar nodes, so this is just basically, most likely you'll probably do it for both, but this is actually based on the G7 RPG AllStar node. This is done by Dave, M7TLB, that is now M9TLB for the amateur radio community. It goes straight to his page. Okay, before we start, there's a bit of a disclaimer from myself and on behalf of Dave. We do not accept any responsibility if this doesn't work. Please write everything down before you make the physical changes so you know what you've actually done. Please make every backup you've actually done on your AllStar node's configuration as you've got it now before you make the change. Read it 3 times, do it once. Back up everything. You have to be a competent person and you're confident enough that you've actually configured your AllStar node yourself before. If you're a whiz with AllStar nodes or you build AllStar nodes yourself and blah 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 blah, then go ahead. You have to be competent. You have to be confident that you can do this yourself. If it doesn't work and it breaks or it bricks everything, myself and Dave aren't responsible. Okay, right, this is Dave's blog. He mentioned previously about purchasing a Cisco 514 IP phone for the Hamshack Hotline service, which is now defunct. That could be any VoIP service like Hams over IP, Amateur Wire, NZ-SIP, Freestar International, which is based here in the UK. But if you've actually got a spare line, what this actually does, your AllStar node generally would actually be, you can use the AllStar node from a cheap Quanzon type transceiver, 2N77s. Okay, for the purpose of this experiment, your VoIP phone will replace the radio. You will be able to use the PTT side of the phone to connect to your AllStar node, because you need from your IP phone a spare line that's not in use. There's a few disclaimers down here. I'll let you read that once you've actually gone through the blog yourself. It mentions how to set up your AllStar node. So first you need to be competent and confident enough to go through SSH into your AllStar node and drop into a shell. Now, I don't necessarily understand all this. I haven't done this myself. I'll give you that. That's why I want to make sure that anybody takes this advice knows what they're actually doing. Okay, if you're using a G7 RPG microHUB, it's option 9 from the admin menu. You need to make changes to the SIP config, as you can see there. Now you need to remove what it says for your super secret password. Just delete the super secret password words and put in your super secret password. Okay. And follow it as you see there. Now you need to put in 789 is a number that will be on your phone on a spare line for you to press to connect into your AllStar node. Keep it a 3-digit number so it doesn't play havoc for the rest of your numbers you have, or it doesn't conflict with any AllStar node numbers. Need to make changes to your extension config, as you see there. You need to make changes to the module config. Edit the file, which makes sure you edit the file. Make sure the following line does have a semicolon at the beginning. If it doesn't have one, if you're confident enough and you've done this before as regards to AllStar node configuration, then you probably know this backward, inside out, backwards, frontwards, and no more than I do. So please have a look at that and you're done. This bit is actually for the phone. Now you need the phone's IP address. Now if you've already got a VoIP phone, you may have it already configured on the VoIP services. So you would ordinarily know how to go into the phone's menu system on the front of the phone and get the phone's IP address, which isn't your public IP address. Once you've done that, you need to put that in on your web browser so you can actually get into the phone's web interface. And to make changes to anything on an IP phone, you need to make sure that you're in advanced, admin and advanced, certainly on the Cisco phones. This will tell you how to set up your proxy address. If you already have a VoIP service like Hams over IP, Freestar Everywhere, Amateur and NZSIP, then you know what I'm actually talking about. So where you put in your proxy server address, you would actually put in your IP address, double colon, as you see there, with 5060. That is purely to communicate with the AllStar hub. Outbound proxy is the same with your IP address, but you don't put the double colon and the 5060, the port address. Follow on through, set the user ID, which is normally your extension number you've chosen in the SIP config file. Remember that 789, whatever you put it in the user ID, and where it's got a password, you'll use the password you have chosen in the SIP config, which is your super secret password. Only you can remember this, but I would actually write it down. Remember, write everything down first before you transfer everything over, so you have to go back and you know what you've done. Set the use authority ID to no, which you would normally do that if you have an ordinary VoIP service. Then you can configure the phone's interface itself on line 4. On the phone tab, make sure the phone is enabled and set to line 4. Switch off text messaging, which is advisable on a Cisco 525G2, and to make everybody happy, turn the text messaging off. It could send unrelated text messages throughout AllStar. It may even send or try and send messages to your phone, which will be annoying, so it's highly recommended you turn this service off. And for 525G2 users, when you go into your web interface, go in on admin and advanced, go to the user page, which is just after your extension pages 1 to 5, and I think it's just before the attention console if you've got one of the sidecar units. So when you go into the user tab window, the first set of settings, left and right hand side, you would say, I don't know what it exactly says, but it would actually make reference to text messaging. On both sides of the top settings, set text messaging and set text messaging to third parties or from third parties, set both to no. And once the phone is actually done, and you're happy with what you've done, you can go back and look at what you've done and make sure everything is actually right. You need to submit right at the bottom of the configuration page on the phone, submit all changes. And generally the phone reboots, and hopefully, a bit of luck, that spare line you have, and you've set it correctly to your AllStar node, the light on the phone should turn green. How also, going back a bit, when you've gone into your phone tab page as an example for a Cisco 525 G2, and you've set it for whatever line you have, and for an example line 4, make sure it's set to line 4. Across on the right hand side you have a short name. On that short name you can play about with this name as much as you like, but what I would actually do, I would actually put in the word AllStar and whatever 3-digit number you have given yourself for your AllStar node. That is only to say that you actually can remember the 3-digit number for your AllStar node. You may have it written down on a piece of paper, but pieces of paper can be lost. But if you have the extension number from the phone to your AllStar number on the display of your phone, then you can't forget it, can you? I do that for all my VoIP services. I always have the network name, maybe abbreviated because it's too long, but I also have the extension number. I know all the extension numbers now because I've been on the VoIP service for many years, but I always have the extension numbers, so just in case I can always refer to the phone screen for the actual number. Connecting to your AllStar node, you can pick up the handset once it's obviously been rebooted or restarted. Press the speaker phone key, then press the line key. It should in itself turn red because you're pressing the button. Dial the number of your node, as an example in the config. This is obviously 789. After a short delay, you should hear that it's actually connected, and it may actually sound an IP address. I'm not too sure. You can then link to any of the AllStar nodes using the DTMF key buttons on your phone's keypad. Always remember to disconnect star 73. Star 73 and star 352188. Down on this information, it's got that connects to HubNet. I'm not too sure if the numbers here are actually in use. They may not be, because this blog is a number of years old. And obviously star 73, because obviously you disconnected again. Star 340894 is the audio test mode, so you can test your audio. And if you want a PTT, obviously, because you've done this, it works. You're confident enough that this works, and it does actually work. How to use the phone, because the phone, you haven't got a radio connected to it anymore, because you may be using the radio somewhere else. You may take it away to you on holiday or whatever. The phone is now your way of PTT through your AllStar node. And to PTT from the phone, you need to press the star 99 button. To talk, no quick, fast key ups. Okay, everything digitally and sending voice over IP always has a delay. Just a gentle press, star 99, wait a second or two, start talking to somebody or put a call out somewhere. Now to unkey, you press the pound button or the hash key. That's the one underneath the number 9 on the keypad. As it's an AllStar node system, you need to make sure you leave your overs for less than 3 minutes, because it will time out. And other networks have an AllStar node. They may have digital networks connected, like DMR, YSF, D-Star, and they may have EchoLink, may have Peanut connected. All these need to be reset. So when you have obviously disconnected or unkeyed, because you press the pound key, wait 3 or 4, or somebody else has dekeyed, wait 3 or 4 seconds before you start PTing again, before you start dialing the star 99, to let all the services connected to that AllStar node can actually reset. Yeah, but if you're already on AllStar, you already know about this, so there will be no problems. And that's it, gentlemen. Now this is a blog by M9TLB Dave on connecting a Cisco 500 series IP phone to your AllStar node. I hope this is successful, but remember, again, Dave and I do not take responsibility. Make sure, again, you are confident, you are competent, write everything down, backed up, read this 3 or 4 times, practice 3 or 4 times, implement it once, and hopefully it actually works. So hopefully you enjoy this. And you can use your AllStar node, dialing any AllStar node, every AllStar node, all of them, not all at once. Don't multiple connect to different networks or double connect to 2 networks at the same time. AllStar don't like it, and the networks don't like it. So always star 73 to disconnect and go on to something else. And enjoy AllStar. It's a fantastic service and it's brilliant. Thank you very much for watching my YouTube videos. Please like and subscribe. Any comments, please leave on the video. I'll leave all the links to this blog on the video. Simply, guys, all the best. Catch you later.